Hello, welcome to the U.S. Immigration News. We have a major breaking update. President Trump's administration has ordered a temporary halt on finalizing certain green card applications, even for immigrants who have already filed their adjustment of status petitions with USCIS. The move follows an executive order signed on January 20th, directing immigration agencies to implement enhanced vetting procedures aimed at national security and public safety. This pause will impact individuals undergoing legal permanent residency processing, including some refugees, asylees, and visa holders already inside the United States. The Department of Homeland Security says the additional screening is necessary to ensure no threats slip through under previous review processes. In this video, we'll break down all the details of this directive, explain who may be affected, and what this means for green card applicants, immigrant families, and the future of U.S. immigration policy. If you are interested in this topic and like this video, please stay tuned until the end of the video. Now let's get into the video and get started. This decision has created a wave of uncertainty and anxiety among many migrants who are in the process of applying for legal immigration benefits that could have allowed them to stay in the United States permanently. For thousands of individuals and families, this abrupt halt means their future in the U.S. is now in jeopardy. Many had hoped to transition from temporary parole status to a more stable immigration pathway, securing work permits, legal protections, and ultimately, permanent residency. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. While the exact number of affected individuals remains uncertain, immigration experts estimate that a significant portion of Biden-era humanitarian parole programs has been frozen under a recent executive directive from President Donald Trump's administration. These programs, which allowed hundreds of thousands to enter the United States legally, have now come under review amid concerns of fraud and national security. At the center of this decision is the Parole Authority, an immigration provision used to grant temporary legal entry based on humanitarian need or public interest. The Biden administration had expanded the use of parole to regulate migration, reduce border pressure, and provide legal alternatives for those fleeing conflict or instability. But the Trump administration argues that such use bypasses congressional intent and has now moved to suspend these pathways. On February 14, 2025, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, issued a nationwide administrative pause on green card and benefit applications filed by individuals who entered through 3 key parole programs. The agency's memo explains that these cases will not move forward until further vetting can be completed. One of the most affected groups includes Ukrainians who arrived under the Uniting for Ukraine program, launched after Russia's invasion. Over 240,000 Ukrainians have entered the U.S. since 2022 with support from American sponsors. Many had begun applying for asylum, temporary protected status, TPS, or green cards. But now their legal futures are in limbo. Also impacted is the CHNV Parole Initiative, which granted legal entry to over 530,000 nationals from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Designed to offer structured legal migration to replace dangerous border crossings, this program provided 2-year work permits and deportation protection. Many participants were in the process of adjusting their status, but with the hold in place, their applications are stalled. A third group includes Colombians, Ecuadorians, Central Americans, and others with pending family-based green card petitions. These individuals had entered the US under family reunification programs and were lawfully awaiting permanent residency. Now, their cases, too, have been paused, disrupting long-anticipated reunifications and raising serious concerns among immigrant communities. In addition to asylum and TPS applications, Cuban nationals have historically had a unique pathway to permanent residency under the Cuban Adjustment Act, which allows them to apply for green cards 1 year after receiving parole. The new directive, however, halts those applications as well, further limiting options for many Cubans who had followed the legal process. Under the new USCIS order, none of these benefit applications will be processed for now. Former USCIS Chief Counsel Lyndon Melmead warns this leaves migrants legally vulnerable. This effectively freezes their ability to move into another legal status, he said. They remain exposed to removal if parole protections end. The freeze is being justified on the grounds of fraud detection and security concerns. USCIS pointed to a 2023 review of the CHNV program, which revealed thousands of suspect applications. Issues included fake addresses, duplicate or deceased sponsors, and other signs of misuse. Officials argue that the system requires a full audit before more benefits can be granted. According to DHS, the administrative hold will remain in place until additional vetting procedures are implemented. While no end date has been announced, officials confirmed that a comprehensive review of parole admissions is underway. The Trump administration is also moving beyond application freezes. Immigration enforcement agencies have been directed to begin deportation proceedings against some migrants admitted under these parole programs. In certain cases, expedited removal has already been authorized. Plans are reportedly being drafted to revoke parole status for those whose legal protections were based on programs now under suspension. This marks a sharp reversal from the previous administration's approach and signals a broader agenda aimed at restricting legal immigration. Immigrant advocates warn that these abrupt changes could push thousands into undocumented status. Without clear pathways forward, individuals who entered the country legally could lose work authorization, protection from deportation, and access to benefits, all of which were part of their legal migration plan. Supporters of the Trump policy argue that parole was never meant to function as a large-scale migration tool. They view the Biden-era use of parole as an overreach and insist that tighter enforcement is necessary to restore order and integrity to the system. According to them, the freeze is a corrective step, not a rollback. Still, the consequences are already visible. Cases are piling up, legal reviews are frozen, and thousands of migrants are now in a state of uncertainty. Many had complied with the law, built lives around work permits, and made plans based on the understanding that lawful status was within reach. Legal challenges are likely, and immigrant rights groups are preparing lawsuits to contest the freeze. But until there is a court ruling or policy shift, the administrative hold remains in full effect, delaying thousands of applications and placing countless futures on hold. As the Trump administration doubles down on security-focused immigration reform, parole, once a tool for humanitarian relief, is now at the center of a national policy debate. Whether this directive becomes a temporary pause or a long-term shutdown will depend on political decisions, legal outcomes, and public pressure in the weeks ahead. What's certain is that for the families, workers, and refugees affected by this policy, the future they've been working toward has just been put on hold. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas, such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. Thank you for visiting us today, and we'll see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the channel for more U.S. immigration update videos.